Sandy Says Read, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do something totally different. We're going to do a get ready with me video, and it might look like I'm already ready for this video. Yeah, this is going to be different. Okay, we're going to do some rambling, some getting ready stuff, and a booktube tag all together. Yeah, we're making the most of this time. I would like to invite you to subscribe, because this kind of wackiness is what you can expect from this channel. And you guys invite your friends to subscribe too, because I've got a goal. That we've got to meet. Yeah. And sometimes it's entertaining here, okay? So invite your friends, bring them on in. Let's get started. The booktube tag is coming up, but I've got stuff on top of the piece of paper that tells me what the tag was. And you know I'm ancient and I can't remember this stuff without the notes. So let's get through what's on top here. Let's get down to that strata. First, you guys, I went to the store today. Yeah, right. Riveting, right? I went to the store today because I had to. There were things I had to go do out in the world. One of those things involved getting stuff for this channel. Yes, I know. Well, you guys, I have so much angst and stress when it comes to what I look like on camera, because I know I'm not Cindy Crawford. I'm not some fancy dancy gal out here. So I fret and I worry and I try to do something about the hair and I usually just fail. So here it is. But I do have now a bucket of hair accessories. And in fact, it is a Nutriberries bucket because I'm not fancy. And you guys have seen my attempt at crafts. Yes, see the, what was it? The blessings jar video. That one shows my craftiness. So now inside of this I have my hair accessories. Yeah, there we go. And the ones I use most will rise to the top as we go through this. Someday I might decorate this, but you know, I ain't got that kind of time. There it is. There's a hair accessories. I had to go out into the world to get hair accessories. And while I was at the discount store getting hair accessories, I bought something crazy. This was my impulse purchase. You guys, you've got to see this. All right, get it where you can. Okay, my chair squeaks. This is pants. They're like big, roomy, crazy, like summertime pants, right? And look, can you tell that they have parrots on them? Do you see the parrots? Yeah, cool. Isn't that great? Yeah. So now I'm gonna have crazy, like pajama-like parrot pants for the summer. There we go. That's okay. Now we are down to the booktube tag information that is on the tablet in front of me. So I told you guys it's going to be random today. What we're doing for this booktube tag is behind the booktube book tag. That's what this is. I saw it at Tiffany at Beautiful Minutia. I saw it at her channel, and she was referencing Shelly Swearingen's channel because Shelly had done this, but Shelly's video was called A Very Long Chat About Booktube, which was actually a pleasant little chat about Booktube. But she's got 13 questions. Some of them are two-parters, but questions about Booktube and your experience with Booktube. And I thought, well, okay, I can do that. I'm looking for clever content to bring you guys to keep you all entertained. So while we do that, we're going to get ready for my upcoming business trip. Why, Sandy, why do you need a box of Ziploc bags for your upcoming business trip? I'm not pushing cocaine. No, instead, I am putting together the baggies of food for my birds so that the bird sitters can just put the baggies of food into the bird dishes, and the birdies all will have, let me get that out of the way. The birdies will all have the breakfasts that they are accustomed to. You know, my birds are a little bit spoiled. If you've seen any of the videos that we have here on the channel about the birds, you will know they're a little bit spoiled. So what I do is I make little baggies. I put their names on them and the date. And then I put their dry food in here. Their chopped veggie mashup, which there's a video about that on this channel too. Their chopped veggie mashup, the bird sitter knows to just put that in their dishes, but each bird has particular tastes in what they will and will not consume. And because I am trained well as a bird owner, I give them what they want. So I'm going to put together baggies with their names and the dates while we do this Booktube tag. I doubt this is going to go well. We'll see. So let us begin. Let's see how far we get. Let's see how well we can do this. Behind the Booktube book tag. Question number 1 on the list is, what has surprised you the most about Booktube, both in a good way and in a bad way? So let me think about that. What has surprised me the most about Booktube? Now, y'all remember, I started Booktube back in 2018. And there was actually, I guess what was surprising is the number of Booktube channels that are out there. That's kind of surprising to me, and still is to this day. It's surprising to me just how many people are out there willing and excited to talk about books. That's kind of surprising. I mean, and that's surprising in a good way. I think that's pretty cool. What is surprising in a bad way? I don't know. I guess surprising in a bad way is how many folks out there are eager to talk bad about books. There are a lot of videos that are like the top 10 worst books of 2023, or like the worst book I've ever read kind of videos that they get a lot of traction. And I guess that's kind of surprising. It probably shouldn't be, where our society can be quite negative at times. But yeah, the surprising in a not so good way is that there can be so much negativity about books to this day. Okay, question number 2. How do you balance Booktube and reading with the rest of your life? This question's making a pretty big assumption there, isn't it? I don't know that I balance anything in my life at this point. Yeah, I just kind of make it all work. I just kind of make it all come together. You know, one time, here we go, therapy session. One time, many years ago, in some like Facebook group, right? Someone had commented about the amount of time they spent gaming, doing games on some platform. And I was like, wow, I don't have time to fit that into my schedule. And they got really offended. And we're like, well, you just got to make time. And I'm like, well, okay, yes, valid. Yes, if I wanted to make time to learn gaming and get gaming going in my life, then I would do that. I would. So I guess Booktube, I just make the time to read books because I like it, and I make the time to talk about those books with you guys because I want to, because it's good for the soul. Okay, question number 3. Have you ever thought about starting a Patreon? Oh, wow. Yes, I have. In fact, I did start a Patreon. What am I on here? Monday, Tuesday. I did start a Patreon a few years back, and I had like different levels, like you do with a Patreon. But I found that I did not make time to promote it. I had different levels where you could have access to different things I had written, or poetry, or I was putting together like a poetry chapbook that would be available only to the patrons on Patreon, but I didn't have any patrons. I'm like, well, I've got this chapbook. What am I going to do with it? So I quit. I gave up the Patreon thing, and instead I have a locals channel over on the locals platform where you can like build a community that, yes, they have to pay to have access to one another and to the creator, me, but there's not tier levels. There's just one flat fee, which is $2 a month, which is not a big deal, but there's more interaction. I mean, the people who are your patrons, the people who are in your community get to talk to one another, and they get to comment on posts, and they can even post on your page, your community. So there's more interaction. There's just more to it. That one also has been difficult to market and promote and to let people know it freaking exists. So it doesn't have big following. There are followers, but they're not paid subscribers yet. And the way that works is that you can be a follower of Sandy Says Read, then you can see the stuff I'm posting, the stuff that's not behind a firewall. You can see the stuff that's free to everybody to see, but you can't comment on it unless you're a paid subscriber. That makes sense? That's how the platform works, okay? That's how that is. I should show you what I'm doing here because I know it's down here on this table. Hang on, I'm going to show you this one. What I've done is, see, this is a baggie for Cricket. Let me put my finger right there. You go. It's for Cricket, and I've written Wednesday on it. So this is Cricket's baggie for Wednesday morning. Riveting, right? I know. Getting ready for a business trip is just exciting. All right. What are we up to? Question number 4. Have you made any mistakes on Booktube? Oh, yeah. And so I made a note here, the hiatus in 2018. There in September of 2018, September 15th of 2018, my world fell apart when Petrie passed away, and I was devastated. I was a mess. It was depressing. I lost a lot of weight because I wasn't eating, I wasn't feeding myself. It was a bad, sad time in my life. And making videos was not a priority. Talking to people on camera was not a priority. Trying to be happy and perky was not happening at all. So I stopped making videos. And that was a mistake. Maybe I should have, obviously waited until I was able to make some videos, but I stopped and I didn't get back into it until, I don't know if it was like late 2020 or early 2021. I think it was around Imaginarium in 2021. I think it was around July, just before July of 2021. I think I should have gone back and looked that up before I started this video, but here we are. I didn't get back to it in a good way until 2021, 2022, and especially in 2023. Last year, I really hit it again. I really got back into it again because it's fun. It's cool to talk to you guys about books, and doing some of these tags it's intriguing, it's interesting. It's cool to see what other book readers have come up with as tags, as fun stuff to do around books. It's interesting stuff. All right, hang on. Let me do another bag for Cricket. I'm not going to be gone for like a whole week at a time at the end of January, but I have 3 trips at the end of January. Boom, boom, boom. But I'm going to be home in between them, so I've got weird amounts of bags to make for the birds. It's just weird. That's all it is. It's just weird. What are we up to? Question number 5. Yeah. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice for new booktubers? Yeah, I do. Find your why. Why are you doing this? If you know what your why is and you get excited about your why, then you'll be more inclined to like stick with it and have fun with it. Like if you know what your why is. And that's with anything, right? Especially anything that you're wanting to be an entrepreneur about. Number 6, what are your thoughts on the YouTube algorithm? I have no clue what the algorithm does, or how it functions any longer. I know there are certain ways that you can like get into comment fields and help like boost the presence of someone else's video. That doesn't really happen for me yet. I need more subscribers. I need more folks to, follow along and get excited. Whoops, there's not gonna be that day. I need more folks to follow along and get excited about books and help boost things. And yeah, there just needs to be more commenting. And I think what I need to do is ask better questions in these videos to encourage that kind of engagement in the comments below. Yeah. And I'll get better at it. It's just, it's going to take a little bit of time. All right. I think I've got enough bags for Cricket. I think. All right. So there's baggies for Cricket. Put those over there. And we'll make some for Winston. All right. What are we up to? That was 6. 7. Okay. 7 has 2 parts. 7A. How do you decide what videos to make? And are you ever overwhelmed with video ideas? I can tell you no, I'm never overwhelmed with video ideas. It's never overwhelming. No. Well, I typically only film on the weekends. Like this right now, this is a Saturday early evening, okay, that I'm doing this filming. Because if I can film a couple on a Saturday, a couple on a Sunday, then I've got them ready for the rest of the week. Because, I got a day job during the rest of the week. There's no time for filming. How do you decide what videos to make? Well, the reviews, obviously, the reviews for videos is reviews as videos is a no-brainer because it's a book channel and I want to bring you book reviews of books I've read. Now, if I've read a book that I don't enjoy, I will DNF it and you will never hear about it again on this channel. I don't talk down books, but if I'm reading a book and I'm enjoying it, or if I'm reading a book and even if I'm not enjoying it a lot, but there's good stuff in it, I will bring you the good stuff. So the book reviews, those kind of videos, those are easy no-brainers. Other ways I decide what videos to make are if I see, like a cool Booktube tag going around, then yeah, I want to dive in. I want to do that too. Some of these, like this one I'm doing today, I would never do a get ready with me video where I'm like putting on makeup on screen. That's not my personality. I'm not that extroverted. I'm not that comfortable on camera. I wouldn't do that. I'm not. I don't think I'm good at putting on makeup and trying to balance with like cameras and mirrors and makeup and all that jazz. I'm sure I could make a fabulous mess of that. So yeah, I'm not going to bring you that horror show. All right. Did I answer that very well? How I decide what videos to make? Basically, if it looks fun and interesting and it's about books, I'm gonna give it a shot. Might as well give it a try. It's better to try it than not to try it and just see how it goes. But sometimes I do bring you videos that are about the birds, right? Once in a while I'll throw in a bird video just because they are such a part of my life, right? I mean, I care for them, I take care of them, and they're my little companions. So yeah, once in a while you guys get bird or chicken videos, right? It happens. All right, question 8. Have you regretted posting a video? Oh yeah, and I've yeeted them. So back in 2018, there were several of these like readathons that you could do, and I think I would like to do a couple of readathons, later in 2024. I've got a lot of reading going on right now, so I don't need any encouragement. But there were some readathons that I participated in, and a couple of those involved, or at least one of them, involved vlogging and videotaping yourself, filming yourself reading, filming yourself going about your daily activities, and basically doing an online or a filmed journal of your daily activities and how you were approaching reading that day. And I regret those videos because they were so boring. They just absolutely boring. And I look like an idiot. Okay. I just look stupid. I was trying to copy what other booktubers were doing with their vlogs, and I was failing. Where they had great editing skills and they were doing a really good job of putting their pieces together, I was not doing a good job of putting my pieces together because I didn't know what I was doing. My editing skills were nil, and you could tell. Yeah. So yeah, I regretted those. I've taken them down because they just looked so amateur. So they just look ridiculous. Yeah. When I do more readathons, I don't think I'm going to film myself reading. Yeah. Okay. 9, question 9. There are 2 parts to this one. 9A, are the number of views and subscribers meaningful to you? And 9B, are the number of views and subscribers a measure of success? And I have to say yes, because YouTube considers it so. If I don't have a certain number of subscribers, YouTube is not going to push my videos. Period. End of statement. That's just how it is. So if you're not subscribed to me, if you're not being notified that I've uploaded something, you're probably not going to see the video. You're probably not going to be notified. You're probably not going to see it come across in your feed because YouTube isn't pushing Sandy Says Read, because Sandy Says Read doesn't have 1,000 followers. Sandy Says Read doesn't have viral videos yet. So it is a measure of success according to YouTube. Those numbers, those views, they just are. Now I'm doing this because I like books, and I like big books, and I cannot lie. But there is a measure of, I don't want to say it's a feeling of failure, but it's a feeling of, doggone, I'm not there yet, right? There's that sense each time I upload one of these videos, and I get 5 views or 7 views, and 7 days later I'm looking at it like, well, okay, did no one like that book review, or did YouTube just not tell anyone that it existed? I mean, what's happening there? So yeah, the number of views is, I don't know that it's meaningful to me, but it's a mystery to me. Let's put it that way. It isn't me. And maybe that's back to the algorithm question, right? All right, number 10, are you disappointed by the growth on your channel? Not lately. Lately, it's been lovely. I mean, more people have been coming to the channel. More people are subscribing. There have been more comments below the videos, people talking back and forth about the videos, about the content, about books, about the publishing part of it. Because I've had a couple of these videos that are about, some of the experiences I've had as an author myself. And some of those have gotten some comments and some just, good conversation, which is very nice. I like that. Do I want the channel to grow more? Of course I do. But why else would I continue doing this? Well, other than I do like the books and the bookishness of it. But, there is a measure of growth that you want to see happen. Otherwise, you're just spinning your wheels, right? Does that make sense? All right. Here you go. Question number 11. Have you ever thought about quitting Booktube? And that was back in 2018. I did quit Booktube for I think for about 2 years, right? I couldn't do it. I didn't do it. So yeah, I did quit at that time. Question 12. There are 2 parts to this one. I'm not getting much done on the baggies, am I? Well, there you go. So getting ready with me was kind of not happening. I'll have to do the baggies when we're done with the tag. Question 12 has 2 parts. What are the most touching comments, and what are the most negative comments? I don't know. What are the most touching comments? I guess touching comments would be the ones where people commiserate with me or with one another about the topic. Like the actually, I did a video on here about at Christmas time, about traveling at Christmas time, and how I had been left at the airport by a friend, and the crazy person I was living with had to come and get me, and that was like this big rigmarole and craziness around it. And one of my friends actually contacted me by text and was like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that had happened." And I'm like, yeah, so I didn't like go around broadcasting to the world at the time, "Oh my gosh, this crazy thing has happened," because well, first of all, it was embarrassing, and I didn't want, to trod upon the friend who had ghosted me at the airport. I didn't want to. At the time, I just let it go, right? I didn't want to deal with it out in public, so I didn't tell a bunch of people what had happened. So when it was on this video, basically a friend from far away contacted me and was like, "Oh my God, oh." So that was a touching thing. It wasn't a comment on the video, but it was touching that a friend reached out and was like, "Oh my gosh." So yeah, empathy and commiseration and people just talking to me and to one another in the comments. That's, yeah, the kindness. Those are touching comments when people are kind to one another and to me about the topics. That's good. Those are touching comments. The most negative comments, I because this is a pretty positive channel, I tend to keep it pretty positive, pretty upbeat, pretty uplifting. We don't have too many opportunities for negativity. Typically, I will not ask, "Hey, tell me what you think is sucking about this," in the comments. I'm probably not going to encourage people to say what is horrible and awful about something. if so, it's probably for like educational purposes, like how can we help one another with this negative thing that may have happened? I'm not encouraging negative comments, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I might not be saying it very well, but that's what I'm trying to say. So there aren't too many negative comments, but yeah, I have found when I'm commenting on other people's videos, because I try to do that a lot. I try to encourage discourse on other people's channels a lot. Because it matters. It matters to that algorithm, right? I have found that once in a while, there's crazy people everywhere, right? There's trolls all over the place. But I've had people, accuse me of being disingenuous. I'm like, well, no, I really am supporting this person. I really do believe this thing I've just posted. I'm trying to be kind and supportive, and you might be crazy. And to have people act like trolls is a negative thing. I mean, when they start trolling me on someone else's page, I don't need that, and I don't know who they are, and I will block them because I don't want them finding me or coming over to my page and coming over to this channel. I don't want them coming to SandySaysRead and getting rude to the people who are subscribers here. I mean, if they're rude to me, I can just, block them, or I can just let it roll off me, right? But I don't want them coming over here and being rude in my community. Not gonna be rude to my people. All right, then the final question on the list, number 13. In regards to Booktube, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Hopefully, right here. Hopefully, I will be right here still doing book reviews, Booktube tags. Hopefully, I'll come up with some more tags that originate here. Hopefully, I will think of some more. I'm a pretty creative person. I should be able to come up with some tags. I'm hoping that the channel will have grown enough that we have more conversation. Can you guys hear my stomach growling? I just heard my stomach growl. I'm starving. It's time for dinner. Hopefully there will be more conversation and more interaction between, among you guys out there, and not just me saying, hey, tell me what you think. Hopefully you guys will be having conversations down there in the comment field. I'm hoping to do some live streams. I'm learning StreamYard. Ta-da! So I'm hoping to have some live streams. I'm hoping to have some open mics and some interviews so that I can bring you guys more stuff that will get you more engaged, so that you will be more excited about some of the things happening. So that's, in 5 years, I see myself having you guys more excited about stuff and talking to one another more. Like this is a little reading community of reading people. That's what I see. Yeah, now, is it going to work out that way? Who knows? Who knows what YouTube is going to do with its algorithm or with its platform or with its, who knows? Its makeup may change entirely. But that's what my goal is right now. Get more people talking to one another better than I do, but talking to one another about books and what they enjoy about the books, what they enjoy about the characters, what they enjoy about the stories, how the stories impacted them in good, positive, helpful ways. God, just good, optimistic things. Because, we need some good, optimistic stuff here in this world. There you go. Okay, guys, I have failed to get the baggies ready during this Booktube tag, the Behind the Booktube book tag. So I'm going to stop and do that. Thank you for tuning in. You guys, thumbs up for Behind the Booktube book tag. Thumbs up for growing the channel and growing the conversation about books. Thank you for tuning in.